Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Blue Maxima and I'm here checking out BlazBlue Chronophantasma Extend. You might be wondering why I'm taking so long to get around to this. I sent emails off asking for a review code for this a while ago, and I ended up spending a week after the game came out sending emails and not getting anything back. So here I am thinking Access doesn't want to talk to me. Then I get an email saying, hey, we have a review code for you for X-Blaze Lost Memories, and it turns out that they've gone and swapped PR people, and I'd been sending emails to dead addresses. Go me. So I ended up asking for a review code of Phantasma Extend, and I got it. So we're just going to go through this, and we're just going to check out what's different about it in comparison to BlazBlue Chronophantasma. Or at least I'm going to tell you what's different about it, and you're going to have to take my word for it, but don't worry, I've actually done some research. I know what's going on here, at least for the most part. So one thing I might want to point out is that this game size is a lie. Actually, it's not a lie. That is really weird. I've had this weird thing where the game size won't report properly while it's running, but apparently it does run properly. But yeah. Anyway, game's 5.3 gig. It doesn't start out that way. You have... the base game is 3.1 gig or something close to that. And you only have access to all the battle modes. So from arcade to the Highlander Assault mode, that's basically all you have. You also have network mode, and you can also go to tutorial training and challenge. If you want the story mode, the Teach Me More, Miss Litchi, and the Remix Hard Guide and stuff, and the library and the gallery mode, you have to download another 2 GB DLC. So the game actually becomes fairly large. Thankfully, that 2 GB DLC is actually completely free. So you just, you get that straight away. Like, just, you might as well get it if you've got the memory card space. Although I like that they let you keep around the minimal amount of game, just in case you don't care about the story mode. But anyway, let's go through what's new in the Extend version of Chronophantasma, which, to be fair, really isn't that much, but we'll have a look anyway. So, everyone has 20 challenge missions now, which is a little strange, considering that the previous game only had 15, but also the DLC characters get new missions. So, now, for the character selection in this game, you've got everyone from Chronophantasma. That includes the DLC characters Yuki Terumi and where's Kokonoe? There she is. And there's also Kagura over here, but you got him at the end of the story mode, so it's not like that matters. You also have newcomer Celica, A Mercury, and was it 12, 11, or 13 that was the new Noel transformation? I don't bloody know. Yeah, but as I said before, everyone has 20 missions, including the DLC characters. Now, for those of you who know the training missions in BlazBlue, it's a little bit weird to see just a bunch of different combos here, because we'll just get out of this mode for now. The general tutorial challenges that would show you through all the power moves of the characters, or what would they call them? Special moves, overdrives, something like that. They actually moved all them to the tutorial mode. I quite like the tutorial modes in these games because you get a ton of different topics about what you want to do, and also you can come here to the character specifics menu, and you can see their drives, their strategies, and their special attacks. So, and that's for every single character. All 28 of them. This game actually has a lot of characters. Like, I won't bother demonstrating, I'll just be moving along. But yeah, you've got tutorials for every single character and lots of tutorials. So, for those of you who actually want to pick up a BlazBlue game, this is definitely the best game for it. For those of you who are wanting to upgrade from Chronophantasma, though, let me tell you why that's not the best idea unless you really want to put down $40. Again. So there's no new modes, as far as I'm aware, in just typical BlazBlue. You do have Highlander Assault mode unlocked from the very beginning, because as far as I'm aware, this was actually a story mode unlock, where you fight the final boss of the story mode with any character you like, but everything else is about the same. Abyss mode, however, has a little bit of a change to it, where some of the items have different costs. I think it's a little bit more balanced now. The majority of the new content is in the story mode. Now, if we go to the story mode and check it out, the basic idea of the story mode is that you have 3 different branches that have a bunch of different story scenes in between them. It's almost like a visual novel, and then you can make decisions in between and they'll take you to different parts of the story. There's also the extra story over here, which summarizes Calamity Trigger and Continuum Shift. The funny thing is, though, if you select this actually has a gag reel ending to it, so there are things like gag reel endings, bad endings, and good endings to go far, but I won't bother showing you those, but the voice acting's actually pretty good. You've also got 3 different stories for Kagura, Kokonoe, and Bullet. Those are the newer characters. And you've also got gag reels, or at least brand new gag reels, but I'll be damned if I know how to get them to work, and you can also save and load and use the stylish mode at any time. But yeah, we won't bother showing any of them off because it'll just be a waste of time just sitting in front waiting for 20 minutes of dialogue to go through or skip, depending on when I get bored. But you'll be able to hear some of the voice acting as I go through Abyss mode, so we can take care of that. Also of note is that the gallery mode. Now, in Chronophantasma, there was a lot of paid DLC, and I mean a lot of it. There was a bunch of stage DLC, you had the 2 DLC characters, which are unlocked by default here as well. But what's of note is that if we scroll down here in the items tab of the gallery, where you spend your P-dollars, which sounds strange, but yeah, you earn P-dollars by doing fights in like Arcade and Abyss and stuff, and then you take it here, you actually are able to unlock the old DLC stages with the in-game currency. And also the same thing with the music. And you can also get different lobby characters for the multiplayer mode. So it's just a menu thing where you can customize what character you're walking around as, and then just, you know, talk to other people and get into matches. But I haven't been able to find any of them while I've been here, so yeah, not much I can say about that. Unfortunately, the PS3 and PS4 versions of Chronophantasma Extend are actually cross-compatible with each other, but the Vita isn't. Which is really disappointing, because it's like you'd hope that they would let you play with the PS3 and PS4 players. Sure, you might get your ass kicked because they've all got fight sticks, but at least you'd actually be able to play with them, right? Actually, I think I'll go through with arcade mode so you can hear some of the voice acting at the very least. So you can pick what side you're on. There is ad hoc mode, which is pretty nice. You've got a fairly thorough set of features here. You've got your training mode. You've got Teach More Miss Litchi, and you've also got the Remix Hard Gaiden, which is a really, really weird sub-story based on some other BlazBlue story I've never heard of, and it just seems like cute girls doing cute things. You got Makoto and, what's her name, Noelle, and a bunch of other random characters I've never heard from before. And you've also got the library, which it wasn't actually in Chronophantasma, but they added it in for Extend for the US versions, despite the fact that the Japanese actually got this for their regular game version, and gives you details on pretty much anything you could want to know about the story, the items, the weapons. And there are a lot of entries here. I mean, good lord, look at all that. It's also got definitions on all your typical fighting game terminology. Surprisingly detailed. But anyway, we'll go play arcade mode now, and I'll stop delaying. And I'll try and explain the game as best as I can, but it's a fighting game, and fighting games don't really work well when A, you're trying to play them, and B, they're as complicated as they are. But we'll give it the best shot anyway.
Please select your character.
So yeah, the roster has 28 characters, which is a lot of characters, and they all have their own unique way of going about things, which hopefully you'll be able to see at least some of them in this arcade playthrough. We're going to play as Hawkman, and I've unlocked a bunch of his colours. Unfortunately, most of them suck. That one's actually pretty neat, though, but I prefer red and black Hawkman, just because he looks absolutely awesome. But anyway, here's your typical arcade mode style. It gives you a little bit of a summary of what he's like, and then we'll move on to a fight. And this game's presentation, as it has been since Continuum Shift Extend, absolutely top-notch. The presentation of this game is just fantastic. The quality of the two-dimensional art here is really, really good. It's not a noticeable upgrade over the base Chronophantasma. In fact, it's pretty much exactly the same, but if it ain't broke, don't fix it, and it's definitely not broke. So, anyway, away we go when the game wants to load. 5.3 gigs though, I mean, good lord, this game is huge. But yes, the game is indeed very pretty. Great music too.
Perhaps I can help you pass the time.
I've no time for your absurdity.
There is English and Japanese voice acting. Unfortunately, they didn't actually they didn't get the English actors to do, what was it? They didn't get them to do system voices, or at least I don't think they did. I'm not entirely sure exactly how you unlock them, but... Ow. So, alright, so might as well start talking about the base mechanics of BlazBlue. You've got your 4 different attack buttons. You've got your strong, your medium, and your heavy attacks. You've also got a drive attack, which is unique to every character. And these drive attacks can have many different properties. So, for example, my drive attack is a... Ow. My drive attack is a counter. So if I'm countering while they attack, I get a free counter attack off. Every character also has a series of moves that are a lot like moves in pretty much every fighting game ever, where you do half circles, quarter circles, and it does special moves like that, which is an absolutely kick-ass move because it just looks awesome. I will go have a look through the options menu and stuff as time goes on, just to give a little bit more of a look at the game. But yeah, everybody's got their own bunch of special moves. Everyone's got their own special meter as well, which obviously powers up some of their more special moves. And of course I'm using the one character that actually has a special twist on, well, it has a real special twist, I should say, on this series of moves, so that I can't really demonstrate how well it works. But yeah, Hakumen, his special moves work entirely differently. We've also got our overdrive counters in the top left there, which looks like a no entry symbol of some kind. And you can press A, B, C, or D at the same time in order to activate that, but thankfully you can also assign that to a particular button, which is actually really useful. And if you do that, you'll often get a move with some special effects that go out. Like, for example, Hakumen's overdrive move will give him extra Magatama, which is the things down the bottom left there, which is basically his special meter. Everybody also has what's called a distortion drive, which is a super powerful special move. And if you finish the match with it, you'll get a distortion finish. And you can also use your overdrive move and then get an overdrive finish, which is a neat little mechanic. And there's also parts of the story where if you use them, you'll end up getting locked into bad endings, or might even get a good ending or two. That's just the way the system works sometimes. So it's a pretty in-depth fighting system. I just pressed start to skip that. I actually kind of like watching that, but whatever. Oh, Taokaka. Taokaka is nuts, but we'll get onto that when the game loads.
I was not expecting to encounter the clone.
The wheel of fate is turning. Rebel.
Now I know Taokaka's drive move. It's that pounce there. You see that? That is her special move. Hey, come here, you stupid cat.
Oh man.
Unit activated.
But yeah, as you can see, every character has their own unique way of playing this game. Like, Hakumen himself is actually quite slow, so you have to rely on his stronger attacks, his Magatama charging abilities, and his counters. You need to be very defensive with Hakumen as well, I've found. Every character has their own unique playstyle though, and coming from the people who made Guilty Gear, it's no real surprise. I like BlazBlue more than Guilty Gear, for reasons. You can also use your overdrive meter when it decides it wants to charge up for a guard break, which, well, not guard break, a combo escaper, which is very useful when you're in danger. Although I do prefer trying to get my Magatama up for moves like that.
Still, nothing compared to the original.
The English voice acting in this game I find is actually pretty good, if not a bit over the top. But then again, it's a Japanese two-dimensional anime fighter. It's going to be over the top. Nothing much you can do about it.
The Grimalkin's DNA is finally starting to bear its fangs. Still, your strength is but a fraction of what his was.
It's over the top, but to be fair, this is what these games usually do. And in the world of BlazBlue, everything being over the top makes sense, because you do not want to go try and read a story summary of this game, because your brain will explode. Game itself runs great. I haven't run into any sort of frame rate issues. I imagine all sorts of people will be piping in to tell me, oh, I noticed a frame or two's dropped here and there, but I don't notice if the game sticks at 60 FPS the majority of the time, so...
Lord Hakumen.
Valkenhayn, what is the matter?
I thought I made myself quite clear when I instructed you not to leave the premises without Madame Rachel's consent. Please, do not cause any more trouble for my lady. Listen, Hakumen. The situation has changed this time, and surely you can sense it too. It is a fool's errand to think you can face the Imperator head-on.
Therefore, I must obey.
Indeed.
I've had enough, Valkenhayn.
How stubborn can one be?
To think you would call me stubborn.
I just like listening to the voice acting because it's so over the top. And the story mode has a lot of that. It's a shame there isn't like individual stories like in Continuum Shift Extend, but I'll deal. Still fun. There's also the barrier meter up there, which I honestly have no idea what that does. I've never taken the opportunity to find out. Also, come on, there we go. Just immediately do my special attack as soon as I hit the ground. Just keep him away. Ow. Gotcha.
You dull.
My head!
Pitiful.
Sharp as ever.
This isn't over.
Hakumen, win.
I'm sorry, I'm just enjoying this music too much.
Rebel 2, action.
Sin.
Impressive. How time passes.
You dulled.
Impressive.
Sin. Your fangs.
Impressive.
Sin. Sin. Scatter. Violent wind.
Impressive.
Scatter. Violent wind.
That was a bit cheap, I admit, but
Cease this nonsense.
Madame Rachel.
Would someone care to explain to me why it is you two can only communicate through such brutish ways? Guy, my tea. Roger that!
I'm no longer in the mood. I shall take my leave.
You cannot even appreciate the delicacy of fine tea. What a boring man. Never you mind, Mr. Hero. But let me give you one piece of advice. You have already realized that Ikaruga is under a large-scale intervention, yes?
Obviously.
Takamagahara cannot be doing this alone. So please do take caution, Mr. Hero.
so BlazBlue is actually a fairly complex fighter. But I've always been of the opinion that it's one of the best beginner-level fighters, purely due to the fact that it is more than willing to teach you everything that it needs to via a tutorial, because there are tutorials all throughout this game, and of course you've got the training mode, and you can put the AI difficulty down to be stupidly easy, so you're more than welcome to just, you know, take the game at your own pace and learn how to play it by yourself, and with every character being different, there's someone that'll suit anyone's playstyle, which is something I've always liked about a lot of different fighting games. So there's just so much variety that if you feel bored with one character, you're more than welcome to swap to another and just see if you can learn them.
I will obey
So
my
we
fate
meet again.
and bring you to an end.
The wheel of fate is turning. Rebel
Man, all this music is just so good. Hi. Hello. Ow. Come at me, bro. Ow.
Witness the power of a ninja.
Quick. Enough of this. Unit activated. Scatter. Violent wind. Sit.
A real man amongst men. I sprint. I'll show you need to. I'll show you need to.
Just missed the counter timing on that one.
Stand aside. Sit.
Must practice.
Sit.
I'll show you need to.
Man. Ow, ow, ow.
Must practice.
This isn't over.
Hakumen
And I do like the Abyss mode, admittedly. The Abyss mode is probably one of my favorite modes in a fighting game, and I will probably demonstrate it at some point in this video, maybe. Although, to be fair, I did play a lot of it back in my actual Chronophantasma video, not my actual Chronophantasma video, because there was only one Chronophantasma video. Come here. Thank you.
I sprint. Must practice.
Ow.
Holding back, no matter. Sit.
I'll show you.
But yeah, the Abyss mode is basically like an RPG mode where you fight a endless stream of enemies, and after fighting a special new challenger every few stages, you can increase your stats or get a new ability. It's very... Oh god, this is not going to be good.
Hotter than flames and as grand as a sprint. I sprint at me if you can. Like a quick the explosive super. Quickly now.
I can do this. And it's a very thin on the ground mode, but at the same time I enjoy it because you can be constantly trying out new items and trying to perfect new strategies. I like getting the red aura, which gives you 50 attack power, and just going nuts with it. I think I did it in my previous video anyway. I might have to go and actually do it, but...
And observe the truth in everything. Think long and hard which path
But
is
either way,
correct.
the game does include a fair amount of content for your money, and there is online play. Last time I tried it, it actually works quite well, but that was back in Chronophantasma, and I can't imagine them breaking it hard over the Chronophantasma to Chronophantasma Extend break, but at the same time, it's probably going to get hard to find people online playing this, especially when Chronophantasma will do perfectly well, because the additions in Extend don't really justify an upgrade to Chronophantasma Extend over Chronophantasma, at least not at full price. I mean, when it goes to like 20 bucks or something, and you can get all the free DLC and stuff going for it, and the story scenarios and all that, it would be a lot better and a lot more worth it than this version. Where it's 40 bucks and doesn't really add too much. I mean, sure, you get 2 new characters, plus if you didn't have the DLC, you'll get those 2 characters, plus all the... I'm doing terribly right now. Hang on. Screw it. Crap. Crap. There we go. But yeah, when you only get 2 or potentially 4 new characters, a couple of extra story scenarios, and the library mode and the remix mode, which are just, you know, nice little extras more than anything else, I can understand why it would be hard to justify buying this expansion at full price. I mean, if you're a BlazBlue fan, what the hell are you doing waiting for me to tell you what to do? Why don't you already own this, is my basic answer to that. And obviously, if you're just a casual BlazBlue player, my question is it really worth 20 bucks for 4 new characters? Which basically, is it worth 20 bucks to you for that? I don't think it is, honestly, but yeah. You're more than welcome to go buy it if you want the new characters and stuff, but I'm just not that big of a fan of the idea of paying that much for just a few extra characters and some new stuff. You can't actually migrate your save data over to the new version, which is a little bit disappointing because I had a fair amount of money on my old BlazBlue save before I had to delete it. It's still perfectly fine though, and I mean, if you're going to buy a BlazBlue game, this might as well be the one to buy if you don't pick up, like, Continuum Shift Extend for like $5 during a sale.
I was not expecting to run into one of the infamous 6 heroes in a place such as this. This is quite an honor.
Perhaps Sector 7 should invest more in their cages, as they seem incapable of containing even a little puppy. Azrael, why are you here?
Oh, just some tedious errands. It's not easy being a lapdog, you know.
Errands? Surely you jest. For Sector 7 to send in the likes of you only shows how desperate they've become.
Ah, don't be like that. Frankly, I've been looking forward to this, you know? I mean, my target is the Azure Grimoire, after all.
Run the Blood Edge.
It's a little bit early for dinner, but these fangs are craving blood. I'll rip your flesh apart, hero!
Over the Top is right.
Know your place, Mad Dog.
The wheel of fate is turning. Rebel 1. Action.
6 heroes.
Quick!
Look at it. Shot.
Stand aside!
Sufficient. Sufficient.
Stand aside! Enough of this!
Actually, not even.
I really wish they'd port over Guilty Gear Xrd. It's a shame they've only done Guilty Gear X2 Reload, or not Reload, Accent Core Plus R. These guys are really good developers, and I'd love to play more of their fighting games. I have Guilty Gear on PS4, I just haven't gotten around to playing it because I have so much else on my plate, but I would love to have an opportunity to... I'd love to play their Guilty Gear games on Vita, because their fighting games are fast, furious, have lots of tiny things you need to learn about them, and they're often just a blast to watch. I mean, watch a good BlazBlue replay, like ones that came out of like last year's Evo. There are some amazing matches in that set of games.
Sufficient.
We hit him with not bad. Unit activated.
Uh-oh. That was painful. Take this. Ow.
Violent wind. What? Let's have some fun. Ready? Well done.
Say it again.
Scatter.
Cheeky bastard.
Sit.
Come here.
Sit.
There we go.
Quite enjoyable. Impressive. I've enjoyed myself quite a bit, hero. But unfortunately, this is where we must part our ways.
Then you know how to back off, too.
Hakumen is awesome. He's quite dumb, but he's actually pretty awesome. But yeah, I do like BlazBlue a lot, and for both BlazBlue fans and, you know, newcomers to the franchise, this isn't too bad a start, although if you're looking to get into the actual story, probably going to want to go back to Continuum Shift, if not like the PSP Calamity triggers.
I've been waiting for you. What the hell are you doing here, Relius Clover? Did I not?
For those of you who are just casual BlazBlue players who picked up not Continuum Shift, I keep getting the names mixed up. Chronophantasma. If you picked up Chronophantasma at launch price or something like that, this isn't really worth the $40 for an upgrade, even if you count that you're getting all the paid DLC.
No man.
But it's not like I outright say don't get this game. It's still well worth the time.
And the 6 heroes, you become quite a troublesome lot. So, the Imperator has kindly decided to assist.
A trap.
I think we'll just skip the rest of the story dialogue from here. This video's going off long enough as it is.
Rebel 1. Action.
Sit. 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 Lotus. Sit. Ease. Sit. Unleashing.
Ow.
Slash. Make way.
That's dunk.
Sit. Make way. Lotus. Sit. Empty sky. Summer's advance.
Finish.
Rise.
Hakumen win. Rebel 2. Action.
Sit. 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 Make way. Crimson. Not yet. Not a chance. Sit. Sit. The end.
Oh, that ain't good. Ow.
Not yet. No. Sit. No. Surely you jest. Sit. Sit.
Research must continue.
Ah, this game's great. I really do enjoy playing this. And one of these days I'm going to have to start playing online. This will be the last... Obviously, this will be the last match. Actually, no, I'll stop the video here. Probably don't want to go spoiling the arcade ending, but it's been 35 minutes. We can just go back to the menu now, because why not?
The Wheel of Fate is turning. Rebel 1. Action.
Let's go back to the main menu from here. So, BlazBlue, Chronophantasma Extend. It's still a really good game. It's just, Extend doesn't really add that much to the whole experience in order to recommend picking it up. Like, outright. But at the same time, if you don't own any other BlazBlue games and you want to focus on the fighting, or if you're a BlazBlue fan, obviously you're going to pick this up immediately. It's got plenty of stuff for you to do, just so you don't get, you know, bored with the game's amount of content or anything. And it is a really good fighting game. But if you want to get into the story, obviously you want to go back to something like Continuum Shift and start from there. And even then, you might want to go back further to like Calamity Trigger on the PSP. That's pretty much all I've got to say about it. Really good game, really good port, really good... Pretty much everything, really. Just might cost a little bit much for some people. This has been Blue Maxima, and I'll see you all next time.